At exactly 11:47 p.m. last night, ballistic missiles rained down on Netanya, not one or two, dozens, simultaneously, streaking through the night sky in what military analysts call a saturation strike, more incoming threats than interceptors can handle at once. For the first time in this conflict, Israel's layered air defense system faced a problem it wasn't built to solve, simple math, and some of those missiles got through. Netanya is home to over 220,000 people. It's a coastal hub sitting 30 kilometers north of Tel Aviv, housing Israel's diamond exchange and critical infrastructure that keeps the northern and central regions connected, our grids, communication nodes, transportation arteries. This wasn't a random choice by Tehran. This was calculated. What makes last night different isn't just the target, it's the tactic. Iran didn't try to slip a handful of precision munitions past Israeli defenses. They launched a wave designed to guarantee penetration through sheer volume. The logic is brutal. If a battery can engage 20 targets, you send 30. Somewhere in that gap, warheads reach the ground. Israel operates a multi-tier shield. Iron Dome catches short-range rockets. David's Sling handles mid-range threats, Arrow 2. And Arrow 3 intercept long-range ballistic missiles, the type Iran fires from its own territory. Each layer has limits: maximum engagement capacity, finite interceptor stockpiles, cost per shot, $1 million to $3 million depending on the system. Footage from Netanya shows interceptors climbing in rapid sequence, white contrails cutting across the sky, flashes where metal met metal, but count carefully, you'll also see streaks that kept falling, warheads that continued their descent while the system was tied up engaging other inbound threats. Israeli emergency services responded to at least 7 separate impact sites across the metropolitan area, 7 confirmed ground strikes. The government has not released damage assessments. Here's the part that should concern anyone paying attention. According to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Iran produces roughly 100 ballistic missiles per month. The United States manufactures about 6 to 7 interceptors in that same period, 100 versus 6. That ratio doesn't hold. It can't. During last June's 12-day escalation, the U.S. burned through approximately a quarter of its entire THAAD interceptor stockpile in under 2 weeks. We're now on day 28 of the current war. The burn rate has only increased. Then there's cost. Each Iranian missile runs between $200,000 and $500,000 to build. Each interceptor costs 5 to 10 times that amount. Every engagement drains Israeli and American resources faster than Iran's. Over time, the defender goes broke. The attacker stays solvent. Tehran understands this perfectly. Netanya's geography makes the problem worse. Flat coastal plain, no mountains, no terrain to complicate trajectories. Missiles come in on predictable flight paths. Israeli defensive batteries are positioned at known locations mapped by Iranian intelligence through satellites, signals intercepts, and years of observation. When the IRG planned last night's strike, they knew the intercept capacity down to the battery, then they exceeded it. This isn't an isolated incident. Since February 28th, Iran has launched over 600 ballistic and cruise missiles and more than 2,000 drones. The volume is relentless. The variety is expanding. Older Shahab series missiles, Khyber Shikan with terminal guidance, Khor-M Shar for capable of cluster warheads, Fatah, a hypersonic platform Iran claims maneuvers at Mach 8 during re-entry. Israel is now defending against more threat types simultaneously than at any point in its history. Each type demands different tracking, different intercept protocols, different costs. The financial toll is staggering. Defending Israel for 28 days has cost over $3 billion in interceptors alone. That's just the missiles fired. Not radar operation, not staffing, not maintenance or replacement. Over $100 million per day to keep the shield active. Iran spends a fraction of that to maintain pressure. This is economic attrition disguised as missile defense, and Israel is losing. Last night was the 32nd wave of what Iran calls Operation True Promise for 32 attacks in 28 days, more than 1 per day on average. The tempo is intentional. Iran isn't trying to flatten Israeli cities with missiles. They're trying to exhaust the interceptor reserves and force an impossible decision: keep spending billions you don't have, or let missiles through and accept casualties. Either outcome serves Tehran. Regional actors are watching. Saudi Arabia saw what happened over Netanya. So did the way Qatar, Kuwait, every Gulf state hosting U.S. forces. They watched Iran overwhelm a $3 billion defensive network over one of Israel's most protected coastal zones. Now they're recalculating what happens if Tehran applies the same saturation model to their oil infrastructure. Because if Israel's system can be beaten, what chance do they have? Iran has already hit Saudi refineries and Way export terminals. The only thing stopping a sustained campaign against Gulf energy infrastructure is Tehran's choice not to launch it. Yet, back to Netanya, eyewitnesses reported explosions on the ground, not interceptions overhead. Impacts: 7 confirmed emergency response sites, Israeli. Authorities have not disclosed what was hit. If the damage was minor or limited to empty fields, they'd say so immediately to calm the public. The silence suggests otherwise. What comes next is predictable. Iran now knows saturation works. They'll do it again. Haifa, Ashdod, Tel Aviv. Same playbook. More missiles than interceptors. Some get through. Damage follows. Fear spreads. Israel has three options. First, scale up interceptor production years away and tens of billions of dollars they don't have. Second, go offensive and destroy Iranian production facilities before launch, which they've been trying for 28 days with limited success because launchers are mobile and concealed. Third, accept that some missiles will penetrate and shift to civil defense-hardened infrastructure, evacuation drills, casualty management. None of these solve the saturation problem, they just manage it. Meanwhile, Iran keeps building 100 missiles a month. The stockpile refills faster than Israel can drain it. The cost burden climbs. The psychological toll of watching dozens of missiles descend at once erodes public confidence in the government's ability to protect them. This is not a war Israel can win on defense alone. That reality is sinking into planning circles in Jerusalem and Washington. Last night's strike on Netanya wasn't the largest of this war. It wasn't the deadliest, but it was the clearest proof yet that Israel's air defense network has a ceiling, and Iran just showed the world exactly where it is. 50-plus missiles, multiple confirmed impacts, 7 emergency sites, a system costing millions per shot struggling to keep pace with an adversary spending a fraction of that. This is the operational reality. Both governments are keeping behind closed briefings and delayed damage reports. The arithmetic favors the attacker. Unless something fundamental shifts, the saturation strikes will continue. Netanya was the demonstration. The question now is which city is next.